Alright, so there is a new gaming PC company on the block. It seems like there's a new one every week. But Velostorm is another company that is selling gaming PCs on Newegg and Amazon. So I thought I would sit down and make a video, talk about their PCs, talk about the company, to kind of keep you guys informed if you should or should not buy one of their systems. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. If you guys end up finding the video helpful or just interesting to watch, make sure to leave a like on it. It really helps me out. And if you guys want to see more content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Alright, so first off, Veltztorm, or however it's supposed to be pronounced, is a custom gaming PC company. But also, they're not really a custom gaming PC company. So all the systems that they sell on Amazon and Newegg are like semi-customizable. You do have like these little slots here that you can kind of pick from for the hard drives and stuff like that. Same thing here on Amazon, though you do get a little bit more variation in what you're able to choose from. But mostly, the systems that they're selling on Amazon and Newegg are just pre-configured, pre-built systems. Now, just like pretty much every other gaming PC company like NZXT, Build Redux, Digital Storms, Origin PC, Maingear, all those companies offer a configure tab where you can pretty much just go to a PC, customize it, put in the specs that you want, and they're going to upcharge you for it, but they usually have fairly decent quality customer support, fairly good quality parts, good quality power supplies and stuff like that. Like, they make sure the entire system is fairly good in terms of everything all around, while they are going to charge you a good bit for more of a premium warranty and customer support. But one of the weird things is that they really don't give you a huge amount of choice between what you want for the rest of the stuff, so you pretty much just get the power supply that they tell you that you're going to get, along with the CPU. You don't get a whole lot of tuning that way. So in terms of the whole customability aspect, again, it's not really that customizable, but they're still upcharging for you being able to customize the system. Now again, I think that's okay as long as you back it up with good internal parts and decent customer support. So that was one of the main things that I went out and looked at, was, is their customer support any good? So Velostorm is owned by a company called New Dream Inc. And looking at the reviews itself weren't great either. A lot of people are talking about how bad they overcharge, how kind of weird their customer service is, how sometimes it's fairly rude. It's just odd to me that a company like this has like this weird style of reviews. Again, not very confident expiring that they have, you know, a great customer support service. So yeah. So now with all that done, let's actually take a look at some of their other systems online. So again, like I said, you can kind of customize these things on Amazon and on Newegg, but it's kind of the same way that you can customize them on the Velostorm website. It's not a whole lot of customization, but you can somewhat customize it. And so what we're really looking forward here is, especially since they are upcharging, like this is a bit expensive for the kind of specs that we're getting, are they putting in good quality parts here? Are they putting in good quality motherboards, a great quality power supply? Is this case good for the system? Is the cooling system good enough for the system? And for the most part, it's fine. Like the motherboard isn't great, so I wouldn't say that that's very good quality, but the graphics cards that they're getting should be okay. Cable management doesn't look anything to write home about, and the cooling itself for the CPU is pretty atrocious, considering that this is a 5900X and that is a 120mm AIO. So this thing is definitely going to overheat, even though that like the spec sheet itself looks really good. A 5900X, 32 gigabytes of RAM, a RTX 3070, like this spec list looks really good, and then the pricing looks somewhat okay for that spec list. But when the customer service doesn't look good and the overall cooling for the system doesn't look great, I'm not very confident that this is going to be a great system or a great experience buying from this company. I have pretty much the same critiques about the ones on Newegg. They're all fairly the same. Again, cooling and stuff like that is going to change based off of the internal components that you have within your system. This does require a lot less power than the 5900X. So the cooling for this system, it's still the 120mm AIO. It should be sufficient for this CPU, and everything else seems fairly okay for the overall system, but it is still kind of expensive compared to what else is out there. Like compared to this Corsair Vengeance A7200, for $1,600, this is a fairly decent system. Now the CPU has 2 less cores, but in terms of gaming performance, it should perform better than this Pilum custom pre-built system. And again, yes, it does have less memory and stuff like that, but if you are going for a premium build or like kind of a premium company, company. Corsair owns Origin, and Origin is pretty much just going to take care of all their systems. Their customer support's really good. The overall system should be great. Even though this thing actually sucks down less power than the 3700X, it still has a much better cooling system. The motherboard, the power supply, the graphics card, the networking card, like all these things are going to be fairly high quality, and it's all going to look very well put together compared to this system. Whereas yes, it's still going to look fine. Cable management doesn't look to be anything crazy. The case doesn't seem extremely high quality. It's just one of those things. Whereas if you are charging a good bit of overhead for the system because you think it is a premium brand, or just because you can customize it, you have to be able to compete with companies like Corsair and Origin and stuff like that. Now, moving to their high-end, which I think is one of the worst parts about their company, is that, again, for all the same reasons beforehand, you know, build quality isn't going to be absolutely insane. It's not going to be bad. I definitely don't think that the system's just not going to function off the bat. But for a system like this, with, you know, kind of the flagship products out here, and charging this much for it is ludicrous. Like, a 12900K system with a 3090 should not be anywhere touching the $8,000 mark. And I went into PC Part Picker just to check my sanity to make sure that this is not what this should go for. And I put in, you know, one of the highest end motherboards that you can get on the Z690 platform, two of the highest end M.2 drives you can get, a fairly high end RTX 3090, a really high end Corsair iQ case, one of the highest quality power supplies you can get on the market. Like, all these things put together don't even come close to the pricing of this system. So even on their high-end stuff, when you are trying to sell something that is, you know, a premium product, you have to offer some other means of value in your system other than just the specs there. Because again, you're just going to be outcompeted by companies like Build Redux, Origin, Main Gear, and stuff like that. And if they're beating you at price point, then you're losing your battle already. So yeah, I don't necessarily have anything against Velostorm. I mean, their parent company looks very shady in terms of just looking at their website. I definitely think that they could do a little bit better on their customer support and just like their interaction with their customer base. But if they clean up those things, then it might make sense to offer those systems at, you know, maybe higher price points. Also, I'd probably look at getting some higher quality cases, some higher quality cooling for all of your systems, and go for really nice motherboards. If that's the kind of market segment that you're going to go for, you need to commit to it. It's not my personal favorite market segment. Like, I don't necessarily like buying systems from Origin or Main Gear and stuff like that. Don't just go halfway, because it makes the systems look way worse when you are charging the price points that Main Gear and Origin and all those companies do, while not having a product that's as good of quality as what they provide. So yeah, that's pretty much my main criticism with them. If they can end up changing this sort of stuff around, then it might be okay to buy one of their systems. But as of right now, I really wouldn't consider it, just because of how much they're charging for a system that's not really insane quality compared to the competition. So yeah, again, if you guys found this video helpful, make sure to leave a like. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.